Hey folks, Charles and Kevin from Saltwater Excursions and KC Sport Fishing, back at R&R Outfitters to tell you about some great new fishing rods that we've got. So Kevin, tell us a little bit about the companies and how these rods get made and all the good stuff.
Well, Charles, I've been involved in professional fishing for 8 years. And I will have to say that the #1 highlight of my entire career as a fisherman has been my association with Batson Enterprises and as a member of Team Rain Shadow. I am on the pro staff for Rain Shadow Rods, and by far, without question, the best fishing rods I've ever used. And I'm excited that we're going to have these available to you here at R&R Outfitters in Windmark Beach. We have done a lot of R&D over the years to get the rods set up like we need here on the Panhandle out in the Gulf of Mexico. We use these rods every day, and they hold up better than anything I've ever used.
So Kevin, we've got 4 rods here that you guys over the past almost a decade now have really dialed in on offshore and inshore, specific to the Gulf of Mexico and Port St. Joe. So inshore, we're mainly targeting trout, redfish, flounder, that sort of stuff, pompano at certain times of the year. And then offshore, a lot of bottom fishing, snapper, grouper, amberjack when those guys are in season. So let's go through each rod one by one, and you kind of tell us, hey, look, this is what we use this rod for.
Okay. First off, we have the RSU 60 MH, which stands for medium heavy. This is what I call our all-around bottom fishing rod. It's a heavy rod, but also you get a lot of feel in the fish that you're fighting. They hold up really well. We use them for trolling. We have caught 200-pound sharks on these rods without any problems at all. So we have developed this primarily as our what I would call our larger bottom fish rods.
Yeah. So if we're going 200 feet, we know we're catching 20+ pound grouper, snapper, potentially amberjack. This is the guy. We set it up with about a 50 series type reel so that we can hulse up anything that we can potentially catch up with.
Absolutely. I mean, I would not shy away from fishing for anything large with this. I mean, I think you could put a couple 100-pound tuna in the boat using this rod and reel.
Yep. Okay. Tell us a little bit about this one and what you would target with this that you wouldn't with the bigger one.
Well, a lot of guys sometimes will fish closer into shore, but at the same time, what I want to tell you is I would fight the same fish on this rod that I would the bigger rod.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys like to go with lighter weight rods, smaller reels. We put 25-pound gag grouper in the boat with this rod specifically. So they will pretty much handle anything. But also it adds even that much more fun to the fight because you're using a little bit lighter rod.
So Kevin, let's talk about our lighter combos here.
Okay.
Let's talk about this rod right here.
Okay, this is a RCKJB 700-112. I know that's a lot of numbers for people, but it gives the rod blank type and the kind of how you identify what the rod is. But the really neat one about this is we set this up for either our light like sea bass rods, we catch sheep's head. We also use these offshore as our bait rods because they make a fantastic bait rod. And there again, you can land 15, 20-pound red snapper on this. It just will be a little more of a fight. Very strong rods. We have never had one of these break at all on us, and we have torqued them a lot of times.
All right. So this one that we'll carry here in the store, this is a 7-foot rod?
Yes, this is a 7-foot rod. In fact, a lot of times you ask us, why with the shorter rods? Well, anytime you're on a boat, a little bit shorter rod's better.
Sure.
Especially if you're on a boat full of people. The 7-foot rod gives you a little more action, gives a little more tip action, so you get a little bit more involved in the fight.
Yeah. And so, in terms of reel size, I mean, what would you pair? Is this like a 6,500 reel or 3,500 reel?
On the boat, we use either the Daiwa 3000s or the Penn Spinfisher or 3500s.
Okay.
Ideal reel for that rod.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's talk about this one. What are the differences between this one and the one we just talked about?
Okay, this is definitely an inshore rod. This is set up for our trout fishing and some of our light red fishing. It's a Revelation series. Everything is much lighter, more sensitive. I mean, you can tap the end of this rod with your fingertip and you can feel it all the way down into the reel seat. This reel seat is designed so that you can actually feel the blank on the inside, so it gives you the absolute ultimate in sensitivity and strength.
Yep.
I mean, you will not have a problem fighting any fish that bites on that rod right there. And we do have all of these rods available at R&R.
Yep. And so for all you folks out there, what I've asked Kevin to do for the store is basically say, Kevin, what are the 2 best offshore and 2 best inshore setups that you guys have dialed in? And so that's what we're going to carry here in the store. We should have at least 10 of each. But if you want to come in and talk about setting your boat up with something specific to your needs, we can do that. We can hook you up. We can put you together a list of what we would recommend in terms of the components. We've got a great rod builder. Kevin, you want to talk about the rod builder a little bit?
Believers Custom Rods are based here in Florida. Michael builds a fantastic rod, and like Charles was saying, we can set you up. If you want a complete outfit for your boat, we can help you set that up. They're custom built, so you can be very specific in color and how you want these done. It's very easy for us to do beyond the ones that we have in stock.
Yeah. So if you guys are looking to outfit your boat or improve the quality of your gear that you've got today, come on down to R&R Outfitters. You can ask for me, you can ask for Kevin. We'd be glad to come in and meet with you and get you hooked up to go fishing.